Welcome back to the channel, fellas. Hey, welcome back. And today we're going over the NFL. And we are halfway through the season. So I'm going to talk about who are the best top defensive teams in the league, in my opinion. So we'll just have to see how each team progresses going forward. And the thing is, we'll just have to see how these teams really fare, how they go into the season. But as I've seen so far, these are the top best defensive teams that I am seeing right now. So I'm going from 10 to the best to 1. So at 10 spot, I got the Eagles making the top 10 spot, So the thing is, the Philadelphia Eagles, man, defense is enjoying really a tremendous turnaround this season. And one of the biggest reasons is the emergence of Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean for the Eagles as they are turning their season around. It looked iffy when they lost to the Falcons in week 2, but it looks like they're turning around. They are 6-2. So the thing is, the Philadelphia's linebacker duo demonstrated that in week 9, each of them is snagging, they are grabbing interceptions, they are getting the tackles, they're getting to the quarterback, and also the note of the 23 points allowed by this Eagles defense. One touchdown, came on a fumble return touchdown. Jacksonville finished Sunday averaging just 4.2 yards per play with 30% third down conversion rate. Even more noteworthy, the Eagles defense has now held its last, 4 opponents really under a 70 QB rating. So that is tremendous. They're getting to the quarterback, and with 1 to 3 touchdown interception ratio, Philadelphia shouldn't have much trouble with Cowboys offense that has CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, and nothing else. So I really think the Philadelphia Eagles have turned their season around a lot better. And at number 9 is the Bears. Let's say the Bears have always been a good defensive team, So the thing is, the good news is the Chicago Bears still have one of the best NFL pass defenses this season. That's because Kyle Murray completed just 13 of 20 attempts with 3 sacks taken and 0 touchdowns. Now for the bad news, Arizona didn't need to have great success through the air because he ran at will, really, for 213 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Bears defense. So the thing is, they are doing their thing. The Bears have always been, a pretty solid defensive team, but they're doing it. They need to step up a little bit more because of their rookie quarterback, but he's trying to do the best that he can. And, while the Bears statistically allowed, the 9th fewest rushing yards entering week 9, it came with the 10th highest yards per average with 4.7. So fortunately, the Patriots ground game can't exploit it much in week 10. After that, however, the rest of the Bears' schedules, they got the Packers, Vikings, Lions, 49ers, Vikings again, and Lions again. This features some of the best rushing offenses in the NFL. The slow descent down the NFL defensive rankings might continue. So that's why I got them at number 9. At number 8, I got the 49ers, man. Kyle Shanahan isn't only beneficiary from the return of Christian McCaffrey in week 10. It really takes a toll on the team, when they are missing their best running back. He was on Madden, for crying out loud. That's just how good Christian McCaffrey is to this offense. But it takes a lot of pressure off of San Francisco 49ers defense as well, to note that, which will get off-ball linebacker Drake Greenlaw back in a matter of weeks. In the meantime, the 49ers defense has allowed 3rd lowest average QB rating and the sixth fewest rushing yards per game, and it ranks 12th in yards per drive allowed. So they're a pretty solid defense, I honestly think. So they're doing their thing. And number 7, I got the Bills, man. Buffalo. Von Miller returned from his 4-game suspension in Week 9, but the Bills pass rush could rarely get to Tua. Buffalo generated just two QB hits and 1 sack. With Tua's quick release and decision making, allowing the Dolphins to average 8.3 yards per attempt with 2 passing touchdowns. It was also a rough showing from the Bills' run defense, which has been inconsistent all year, allowing 149 yards and 4.8 yards per average to Miami. This is still a pretty good defense, especially considering all the injuries, but there are ways to exploit it. Expect the Colts on this Sunday, and then they got the Chiefs, 49ers, Rams, and then Lions. Yeah, to put an emphasis on the run game and quick passing attack, when facing Buffalo. So that's why they're so high on my list. And number 6, I'm going to go ahead and put the Vikings on this list. You got to put credit there. They did a really good thing. They, got to the quarterback. So they started out 5-0, but they've been slipping lately. But you got to give credit to Sam Darnold and their defense as well for winning games. So while for the Vikings, there may be some concerns about how the Vikings defense would perform against Joe Flacco instead of Anthony Richardson, this unit delivered. Flacco finished with a 63 rating, completing just 16 of his 27 attempts, So he was confused by Minnesota's defensive looks, and he really did have constant pressure as well, So, but, the Vikings held Jonathan Taylor to just 48 rushing yards and 3.7 yards per carry, often demonstrating the overall strength of this run defense. So the Vikings really schedule is soft here, so this defense should be feasting well past Thanksgiving. And you already know I had to put the Chiefs in the top 5. I had to, even though I hate the Chiefs. You got to give credit to how Chris Jones and that defense is playing the run game. They're winning games for a reason. So as much as it pains me to say it, there's a reason the Kansas City Chiefs have explored for defensive help ahead of the NFL trade line in the 2 games since the defense lost cornerback Jalen Watson. To a season-ending injury, consecutive opponents have posted 100-plus QB rating with at least touchdown passes against the Chiefs, So, but, Kansas City has not lost a game, So they even had to deal with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans on Sunday night. But, Cade Olton, he had 77 yards and a touchdown, became the latest tight end to exploit the middle of Kansas City's defense. Fortunately for the Chiefs, the offense is turning things around, and that's critical because it no longer looks like the defense can single-handedly win games, even against lesser competition. So, and on my list, a more surprising look is the Broncos. I have at number 4, man. So, a big reason why I have the Broncos, because it is very difficult to have an answer when the opposing offense has 2 bona fide NFL MVP candidates, Lamar Jackson from the Ravens and Derrick Henry. So, with a phenomenal supporting cast around them, that's what happened to the Denver Broncos defense last week. Henry had 106 yards and had a strong performance, and Jackson had 158 QB rating. And, you just saw the Ravens just beat the Bengals. I do not know why the Bengals went for that 2-point conversion at the end, but hey, they made that decision. They wanted to win. They just couldn't get it done. But we do expect, as a whole, a community, I feel like the Broncos franchise has expect a much better performance from the Broncos defense against the Chiefs in Week 10. So, and at number 3, T.J. Watt is that guy, and I have to put them at 3. They're 6-2 on the season. So, the thing is, the Pittsburgh Steelers, really, their pass rush is a absolute nightmare for opponents, especially now that, Alex Highsmith is back. Pittsburgh boasts the second highest QB knockdown rate with 13%, and it ranks 10th in pass rush win rate at a near 50%. So take that ability to really generate pressure, and it's no surprise to see the Steelers defense holding its last 4 opponents to just a 78 around QB rating with 6 interceptions. We can't have I really can't wait to really see Jaden Daniels against Pittsburgh's defense, because it's going to be a fantastic test for both. And at number 2, I have the Lions. That offense is absolutely electric, and their defense is doing their thing. And I know the Lions miss Aiden Hutchinson so freaking dearly too. So the thing is, the Detroit Lions certainly miss him, but the thing is, the defense has stepped up since all pro pass rusher went down. Besides the pending addition of pass rusher Zadarius Smith at the NFL trade deadline, and will allow the Lions defensive coordinator to dial back the blitz, putting less weight on the shoulders of the Detroit Lions secondary, So for the backup, the Detroit, having one of the best NFL defenses in 2024, it has allowed the 4th lowest opponent scoring rate in the NFL, and it has the highest takeaway rate to go along with that. So, sure, opponents can have a more success against the Lions defense, but not nearly enough to keep the pace for the offense, and that's what Detroit needs. So watch out when Aiden Hutchinson comes back. So, and number 1 could be really surprising for a lot of people, but man, I got the Los Angeles Chargers, the absolute best defensive team in the league, in my personal opinion, and I'll tell you why. So, on my personal opinion, utter domination by this Los Angeles Chargers defense in Week 9. The Browns averaged, I know it's the Browns, but they just averaged 3.8 yards per play with 3 turnovers, and a lone touchdown came in really garbage time with under 1 minute remaining in a 27-3 beatdown. What was really unusual to say who stepped up, because it wasn't the household names. Because I saw Morgan Fox combined for 4.5 sacks. They had all kinds of players snug interceptions. The Chargers was recorded. They had 12 pass deflections, 9 QB hits, tackles, and 6 sacks. Though the 8 games, this Chargers defense has allowed the lowest scoring rate in the NFL. So that is I really do think that the Chargers have the best defense in the NFL right now. And and the Packers have, the most forced turnovers in the NFL this season with 19, with 10 interceptions and 9 forced fumbles. So the thing is, when we're looking at this aspect, the Chargers are a really good defensive team. They just need to get Herbert to make smart plays and not throw that many interceptions. And I really think they'll be fine, So, but this is my take, who I think are the best defensive teams in this season. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think I really missed, where would you place these teams at in your personal opinion? But I appreciate everyone that watches the video, man, and just let me know what you personally think about this aspect of the defense in the NFL. But I appreciate it, guys. I'm out.